Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning. I'm so excited. I haven't done a tabletop stream in the morning, tabletop brunch in quite some time. Super excited to be doing it, and I'm very excited to be playing the Daylight system, created by Cam, who we have here with us. Very excited. I'm Squidsy. Y'all are used to seeing my face. I do everything that y'all see on social media for the most part for Lost Guide Games. Of course, our Kickstarter. You've heard me pushing that out. So yeah, really excited to do this. I'll let everybody else introduce themselves though.
Hey, I am Grimm. I am one of the writers and one of the main mechanic goblins over at Lost Guide Games. I am also on started doing the social media. I'm also a professional GM for hire.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. I gotta come back again. But I am Fluffy. I am one of the head artists for Lost Guide Games. I do a lot of drawing and doodling and stuff like that, and I'm excited to play.
And I am Cam Day. I am the owner and founder of Daylight Publications, which publishes and created the Daylight system. So Squidzy kind of asked me to talk a little bit about it. So this game had been in the works for a little bit, and then with the OGL fiasco of winter 2022, kind of kicked things into high gear. We sort of created the preliminary version, and then we started working on Daylight Fantasy, which we are playing today, and then Daylight Sci-Fi being our two main systems that are out now. Daylight Gothica will be coming out, which is our Gothic horror one, as well as Daylight Noir, which will be our noir flavored system. But this is a D12 system. Pretty much the main things is you should be able to create a character in 10 minutes or less. It's a quick, easy system build. I very much designed it to work with students because I'm an English teacher full time. So I work with seventh graders. So easy for young kids to pick up. And it's just kind of an homage to wacky and fun fantasy. And I'm very excited to get to play it. Um, being the writer behind it, with the rest of the creative team, and Emma Carnicom, who is our editor, and Northy May, who is our artist. And really excited to dive in from the other end of things.
All right. Well, we're excited to get into it. I know when I first looked at this, I was super excited. I guess we should go around and explain who we're playing, except for of course Graham, who's the older for all of us, the old, just old sleepy guy.
Oh,
Um,
little sleepy bones.
Little sleepy bones. I am
You
playing
sleepy bones.
Hibiscus, who is an Avarian troubadour. So I am a bird that tells stories.
You're a magpie, aren't you?
Shh. Shh.
Well, that was called out. Ah,
I am running Jean Lefrogge. He is a foppy scoundrel. 1000% Lefrogge from Fleshed Away as inspiration. Uh, just felt it was right. He it looks kind of like a tiny little bullfrog.
and I will be playing Dougal, the Bubgrog. I'm a fisherman, and that's what I do. I
So
fish.
cute. Fluffy's already drawn him, and he's precious. All right. I guess without further ado, I will let Graham get us started.
So there is a small mountain town in the kingdom of Velren, which is known mostly for simple trade goods like good quality wool, fresh woods, high quality pelts. The kingdom is very stable for the most part. It's very close allies to a neighbor that takes care of most of the protection needs for it. The mhm. uh, sorry, that just there is a path leading through the mountain that is very kind of vital for trade. The only spot where kind of things can change in this quiet town that specializes, thanks to its location near a river, of very high end fish. Uh, there is a university in the town. It is a very major trading thoroughfare. Um, the I am sorry. The village is situated right in the middle of a very prominent but kind of unused in certain ways trade road. It's not a very town where a lot of things happen. Things come through, don't really stay. Uh, there is a tavern. There is, well, really, the tavern in town is where we're going to be opening for ourselves. The uh, it is right after midday. It's been harvest. Oh no. Uh, there is a. I'm so sorry. Give me just one moment. Uh, where did that go? There it is. Okay. The village tavern, very large central bar. Uh, it is after midday for it's not quite night. There's not a lot of goings on at this point. Uh, but there is a caravan that recently pulled through, um, and in the aftermath of this, there is uh, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty on my side. Give me just 1 second.
No worries.
Okay, there we go. Anyways, apologies. So there is a in the village in the tavern. There is a again wide open bar. It is a late fall days after harvest. The rivers are starting to start running a little bit low on fish, and the village itself is kind of starting to set up for a transition from its production time period to more the slower part of its year, where a lot of what they're kind of doing is depending upon the trade caravans coming through. Uh, having been after midday, I think that one of the individuals here is a fairly large bub grub who is still in his waders, having a conversation with uh, the Avaran bartender, who just behind them are just these very colorful bottles full of shining liquors and alcohols. And he just grabs a glass, just pours Douglas, pours a shot and says over. Any good catches today, Dougal?
All right. How much is it going to cost me?
That's very brisk of you. I'm trying to have a conversation here.
I'm thirsty. I'm ready to go. I got a lot of fishing to do.
What fishing? Winter's setting in. The fish are drying up.
Best time to fish. You see fur coat? I go out ice fish.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, this one will run you just a couple of pieces today.
I look inside my waders, fishing around for some. I, I set a couple down.
Nodding to you. The bartender kind of makes its way down. Um, and it says stopping in front of a. So, question: Does Lefrogge have the mustache like
Uh,
in the picture, or
I envisioned it with more of a Clark Gable style, pencil thin,
fair enough?
and
That works.
the
Correct.
very thin, long mustache.
Fair enough. So in front of a mustachioed individual, how about you're not from around here? What can I get for you, stranger?
Bonjour, madame. I would like your finest liqueur, if you could provide it for. I am Jean Lefrogge, and I am very thirsty after my travels.
Very well then, Jean. Reaching back, you see that it's starting to reach for the top shelf. Looks over at you. How exorbitant are Jean's clothes?
Uh,
Does Jean looks like he has big money?
uh, his purse says otherwise. He is like bedecked in the most like B movie style musketeer costume possible. Um, Huge sleeves, lots of lace, big cravat, just huge hat off to the side. Um, if anyone really looked, they would be able to tell that this is like low quality. But he has put so much effort into making it look very fanciful that it probably reads sometimes to his uh,
Marks.
not to his advantage, that it reads that he has money.
So the head was starting to go up towards the top shelf. After another look over, it goes down 2 shelves, grabbing a bottle of alcohol.
This
Uh,
is acceptable. I will thank you very kind.
uh, taking the bottle. Another one of the shining spirits. This one not quite as vibrant as the shot that was poured for Dougal. A glass is placed, and with a pop, the shot is poured, slid over. So this alcohol is actually not from this realm. This tavern keeper only serves alcohol from fairy, which means to everyone the taste is very different, the sense is very different.
Okay.
What is a happy memory of Jean's?
I would say a happy memory of Jean's. He goes back several years to kind of when he was first starting his exploits. He's not tired by any means, but he's getting up there. And he remembers a time with a uh, beautiful Cabardanian woman in underneath an apple tree, with her sort of cradling him in his arms because he's only a foot and a half tall. Um, and just sort of the smell of apples and sunshine comes to mind.
So it's not just the apples and sunshine. There's that warmth of, if you know what warm cow fur smells like. There's that kind of undernote to the apples of this, and it's brief, but for a moment, as Jean picks up the glass and brings it to a lip, and just again, it's like a snap in time that washes over him.
A single tear falls out of his eye And he just goes, "Ah, Violet, it was too short, too short," as he drank.
Um, and then looking down again, with a nod. Uh, what exactly is Hibiscus doing in
Um,
the tavern?
Hibiscus is sitting back and just kind of listening, seeing what stories that she can hear to be able to share with others along her own travels. Um, just kind of vibing.
Walking down again, looking Hibiscus. And for you, dear,
Oh, you know what? The gentleman you just handed the drink to looked like he just had such a wonderful memory. I'd like to try some of that myself.
of course, she bends. She grabs a glass, sets it on the counter, pours a shot, puts it over towards you. And kind of similarly, what is a happy memory for Hibiscus?
So, a really happy memory for Hibiscus is when she stumbled across a group of travelers one evening. All they were just all winding down, setting up camp, things like that. And she stopped by and she offered them a story. And she told them a just a wonderfully light story that evening, right before bedtime, and all their smiling faces and how excited they were to engage in this story.
So for Hibiscus, it's the scent that kind of washes over her. It's of campfire, the smell of the deep woods. There's the scent of horse, and there's a little bit like, not like a horsey scent, but again, kind of just that warmth of an animal that's been in the sun all day.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's a little bit cooler. There's a little bit of the sweetness of night dew, and just this wash. Again, it's an instant wash of just recollection and memory.
She she has this kind of twinkling smile in her eye and goes, "That is absolutely brilliant. What is it?"
It is, she says as she puts the cork. You're kind of the only individuals at the bar right now. She puts the cork back in the bottle and sets it up to another row of similarly shiny but different shaded liquors. That is Soul Drop. It is a little known and in fairy not very hard to procure alcohol. It's not quite as known here.
Absolutely lovely.
Little bits of magic go a long way. She says with a smile as uh, she works her way back down to Dougal again. Where are you going fishing today?
Oh, possibly down the river. Want to see what I can find.
Well,
Need Gonna have to get some bait first, though.
be careful if you go down that way. There's been talks further up that there might be some issues going on with some of the currents.
Oh, that's fine. My little skipper will do just fine in those currents.
All the same, be careful, Doodle.
Best of my. Hope you get some money out today.
Uh, it's starting to hit that time of year. We'll be all right. We always are. But again, you be careful. We can't lose our best fisherman. With a smile, she turns and starts going back to polishing and just doing the simple little bar things that need to be done on a daily basis if you're running a bar front. There's with Dougal's with that last conversation with Dougal, there is an opening of a door as this small, uh, small for a small foreign Arcani, uh, young boy comes running in. He is flannel shirt open, top two buttons open. He's probably around 13, 14 years old. Um, Dougal, you would know this to be Callan. His father is the head herdmaster for a troop of Orkani that use this thoroughfare as one of their main cut throughs, moving their heads from the north to the south every year. Uh, they shouldn't be in this area quite yet. They're they're probably about a month out from when they should be cutting through. And you see that Callum is a little disheveled. Um, you see that he is kind of not in great shape. He's a little bruised, but
Dougal's
he
gonna get up
seems
and
to
head
be,
over.
yeah, he seems to be okay.
Callum boy, what's wrong with you?
They were, we were, he's kind of like trying to calm himself down. You would see, so if uh, the bartender kind of comes around you, so she grabs something from underneath the bar, and it's she pours, and it's kind of like a diluted honey soda. Basically, it's an unfermented honey drink. Brings it over. She crushes some herbs into it, and anyone watching is the glass would glow just for a second as these herbs are put in, and it fizzes as she hands it over to him, and he's not even thinking, he takes a sip, and almost instantly his breathing calms down, and he enters kind of into a more lucid state. We were attacked by bandits on the road. We were cutting through. We just sold a herd of cattle. We were cutting around to grab uh, our next herd to move through the upcoming year. Um, we were a couple days to the north of here. Um, we were attacked at camp, and I don't. My father told me to run, and this is the first spot of civilization that I've ran into.
Is this conversation loud enough for us to hear as well?
It is. He is not being quiet. He's not being very loud, but he's kind of just fallen into this very methodical, not emotional, but it's loud enough that yeah, you guys can probably hear this very easily.
I think Jean, hearing all this, sort of like places his glass, throws his very foppish hat on, goes, I heard there were bandits who needed to be taken care of. I may be a highwayman of sorts, but bandits are the worst kind. Point me in the direction, and Jean Lefrogge will solve your problem for you and your herd.
He
What
just
did he say?
Said Jean Lefrogge will solve your problems. And as he comes down off the stool again, he's only a foot and a half tall. So you don't see his body, you just see hat moving across the floor.
so I would say this: it is entirely possible that from Dougal's perspective, looking down, it looks like this giant like fishing fly just bouncing around on the ground, like an oversized fishing fly.
So, bait, are you? How can you help?
Jean pushes his hat up and goes, Well, I will ignore the instead of calling me bait, for John Lefrogge is not bait. I am the fisher of this proverbial fishing pole which you are talking about. I am
I have a
Jean.
fishing pole.
Yes, I see that it's a very nice fishing pole. I am Jean Lefrogge. I am a cavalier of sorts, a do-gooder, a taker from the rich and giver to the poor. And I have many friends amongst the Orkani who I would be willing to help this young boy who I might only come up to his knee, but I'm still a mighty swordsman.
Callum, is this your friend? He says he's got a lot of friends here.
Um, Callum is just like, even in like the shit he was put into by whatever the drink was, he's just like awed by just like there's so much confidence in something so small. Squiddy knows all about that. She's gonna kill me later for that one. The he's just like he's awed by this tiny frog man in in a hat that is as wide as he is tall, and he just points to the north. We were attacked that way.
Very well, I watch my beautiful steed Petunia, and we shall ride away. Thank you for your direction. And he just sort of about faces, and I assume in this very quiet tavern, you just hear
Yep.
of his
The-
feet.
of the webbed large feet just smacking on.
Yep.
Yes,
Just smacking on rock
100.
real loud.
100%. 100%.
Hibiscus. Hibiscus is gonna watch all of this go down. Lots of chuckles, lots of laughter. It goes, well, I think I found the story to follow. Dougal, we do hope to see you there. And she just kind of follows this tiny little thing out the door.
The
Yeah,
bartender, not entirely sure what happened, looks over at Dougal. I know you were planning on fishing today.
Would have been a good day for fishing. The cows were standing.
It would have been a good day for fishing. I would
What?
feel more comfortable if someone. She seems to be looking for the words. Like, she doesn't want to diminish the bravery of the small frog man.
Don't worry, I'll go watch after him.
Thank you, Dougal.
Gene lead pair, wait up!
As you come outside and you see he has collected his riding capybara from it's just this capybara with like just some armor that he like clearly stole from like a knight or picked up from a knight and has like retrofitted to fit on his capybara. It's like, I was about to come find you, tall furry man, for while I might be very good with a sword, direction is not my strong suit, and Petunia, she is not that fast. So, would you be willing to help me? You clearly know the family of this little green man who is inside the boy who drank the honey drink. But I could use some assistance. As well as this lovely bird lady whose feathers do shine like a freshly snowed day.
Oh yeah,
Full of the road.
I know the path. I know which ways they typically travel through here.
Excellent.
Did you tell me no?
No. Excellent. It is
No.
good, great, fantastic. Oh my gosh, so good.
Cool.
I think it could not go south that much. My accent is not that hard further south of the mountains. This is very normal.
I don't go to the mountains.
Okay, we will work on this. We'll come back. I will get a map. We will discuss the geography of the world where
We need to go. Something happened. come on.
Anyway,
Bring your tiny rat.
onward. She is not a rat. She is a rodent. Thank you. And you see him just pull out this tiny little rapier. And be like, onward, Petunia. And the capybara just does not move.
I kind of give it a little boot with my foot
Kind
to
of
like push on its
pat
butt.
it, encourage it forward.
It's a pat with the side of the boot.
Yep.
It's a pat pat.
She gets thank you. I had it under control.
As you clearly did.
Inside the tavern, looking out the window watching them go is Callum and the bartender. And Callum just looks up at the bartender. Well, you're sending for the guard, right? She just nods her head. Yes, of course I'm sending for the guard. This is just consider this a scouting party.
And it is not a scouting party in Jean's mind. In Jean's mind, he's going to solve this whole problem himself with friends.
Right.
With people he
That's how
just met
adventures
at the
happen.
ver, therefore friends.
Forever,
Best-
a long time. Best
Best friends
true-hearted companions.
It's
Bond,
my bosom
unbreakable
friends.
bond. Right.
I'm having way too much fun with this frog.
Oh no, you're having the correct amount of fun with this frog. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's great.
The path is, again, you can see why this is a commonly used trade path. The roads are broad. There's not a lot of places for people to really hide. It's a lot of, once you get kind of out of the little mountainous area that the village itself is in, it broadens out, and there's a good couple 100 feet on each side. It's kind of like a plateau of a ridge. And if you look over to the west, which is again with the sun starting to set a little bit, it's not like setting, but it is afternoon. It is just this huge expanse of emerald forest that is, parts of it are starting to barely turn in color. The river that runs by the village continues down, and you can follow its trail even from up here as it cuts through the forest. And in the center of the forest, you can see the outline, just the barest ridge of this massive lake. But continuing up and on, it is a beautiful scene. The tracks from Callum are actually very easy to follow, even if you're not good at following, if you're not good at tracking. It is an early teen kid who, was not really like trying to be stealthy. And there's not been any heavy rain. There's not been any heavy winds recently. So it is quite easy for you guys to kind of follow this trail. And as you guys start to, shift through the mountains, eventually does wind down to the forest itself. You guys come across where the camp is. It probably takes you guys about an hour and a half of walking to get there. There is a junction where a second road meets up, which is obviously the one they came down, and kind of merges into a single path continuing to the north. Off to the side, you do see the remains of an Orkani camp. You don't see any bodies, but there are obvious signs of a struggle.
Jean's gonna hop down off of Petunia, and in sort of a flurry of limbs, he sort of pulls off the very foppish outfit, and underneath he sort of had very much more of a traditional, like, sort of hardy leather gambeson, tunic with a bit of flowy scarf. Still has an ascot, but much more of like a like actual duelist's outfit, and he sort of takes it and like shoves it into a bag and goes, "Oh, there we go. I'll put it away. No more. Put that away." And pulls out like a little Robin Hood style hat and puts it in his head. Apologies for the performance. I was hoping to score a mark, but there are no nobles coming through, so I will go back to Jean at work, as it were. Um, we will now investigate. And then fight. Just feet slapping off. I'm gonna try. We'll see. My lore score is my worst. And see if there's like any. Because I mean, if this is an Orcani camp, and there's probably tons of people here, and they had picked. Was it they had picked up their next head of cattle, or were going
They
to
were
go
going.
pick up?
They were going to go pick up.
Okay, they were going to go pick up. Okay. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out if this was done by like just some ragtag group of bandits, or if this was like organized in any way. So
Okay.
I'm gonna. That would be a nat 12 on the first
Hey.
roll.
Hey!
Hey. We love starting with a crit.
Yeah.
All right. So, first time making a ruling in this system, always fun. All right. So, major success. Hey, we love this. So, you are most definitely able to figure out this is not just some random group of bandits just coming across a random group of Orcani.
Okay.
There was an ambush set for this. They were ready for it. I think because you have the major success, you're able to deuce a couple of extra things with that 12.
Okay.
I think one of them is that there is a, judging just by some of the footprints, and Jean Lefrogge is very much a man of the world. I'm a frog of the world. He's seen many things, I'm assuming.
I have seen many things and know many things.
Right. He's loved many women of many different
And many men.
and
as
many
well.
men. Correct.
Jean
Many
says no
many.
facts.
Correct. There's enough Lefrogge for everybody.
There's enough Lefrogge for everybody.
So
I may be small, but I'm a lot.
right. Partially because of that, and I'm assuming having to quickly escape several kinds of being caught by jealous husbands and wives.
Yes.
Lefrogge is able to kind of tell that it was a mix of individuals who pulled off this attack. Most surprisingly, there was a mammoth.
He really looks like he knows what he's doing, don't he?
I'm honestly a little surprised.
So there was a mammoth. There was a lupus. You're judging by how the foot impression for the lupus. The mammoth was just the size of the footprint.
Yeah.
For the lapus, it's able to tell because of how the imprint of the foot for the sole of the boot pressed in, as well as a number of Gruggle and Hofsgrug.
Okay. Would I know if, and again, this is like pushing the 12. That's fine. Would I know if this collection of people would be unusual in this particular region?
The fact that there's a mammoth this far, you're in the northern part, but you're not that far north.
Okay, so that's what's Okay. Then I will look back and swap myself over. Um, this was clearly an ambush. There were many individuals. This was planned. It was orchestrated, and however, uh, there is something that is most unusual. I found the footprints of a mammoth, which I have known several mammoths in my lifetime, both carnally and in friendship. What they would be doing this far south, not hunting monsters, is very strange.
Um, I want to know if I can roll to see if I've heard any rumors of just bandits in the area.
Sure,
Okay, that'd be a lore. That'd
that'd
be
be
a
a lore.
lore, right?
That'd be a lore.
Okay, thank you. Ha! 4.
One. Okay. I thought it was gonna be four. A one. Like a one. I'm like, that evens out. That's fine. All right. So let me see here. So for four. So there have been rumors of bandits in the forest. Um, there is talk that someone is trying to kind of set up their own little bandit empire somewhere in the forest. And the current belief is that they're planning on making their base around the Great Lake in the center of the forest, is the belief.
Okay, so I'm gonna look to Jean Lefrogge, and well, there are rumors from town and just kind of in the area of these bandits trying to maybe make like a bandit kingdom
Hmm.
in this lake, or around this lake. So I mean, it could be part of that.
Very well. We will now plan an elaborate disguise where our friend Dougal shall find a fish large enough to fit me in it and will present the fish to the bandit king, and I will jump out and I will kill him from the fish.
So we gotta catch a fish big enough for you.
Yes, a fish big enough for me to fit in comfortably. I don't want to be squashed. I need to have room to expel my legs, to get a good leap. And when I leap out, I will skewer him.
Dougal's kind of measuring him with his hands.
He's only about a foot and a half tall. He's
Yeah.
only about a foot and a half tall.
And he goes, not the rat, right?
No, we will not. No, just we will not be putting Petunia in the fish. Only me. She
Okay.
will find it very uncomfortable. She has a claustrophobia. We found out the hard way once when we were sneaking away from a rather wealthy lord by hiding in an apple crate. Um, she ate all the apples and then had some unfortunate experiences, and that was very ungreat for all of us. But anyway, this is another story.
Trauma for everybody.
Hibiscus, do you need to fit in the fish also?
No, actually, and she digs in her bag and she pulls out what are the one of the things that she's got. Uh, there it is. So I actually have, and she holds up these costumes. Um, and goes, and I mean, we could probably tatter them up enough to look like bandits.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
then where would the fish come from?
You know, we went. Bandits need to eat too, right? I mean, that's what I always assumed.
Okay.
alternatively, we use your costumes to create a disguise where you sit on top of Dougal and I sit on top of you and we pretend to be a mammoth. We just put a giant coat on and we pretend to do this. It
Only
has
if you
worked.
Bugs Bunny it. Only if you Bugs Bunny it.
It has worked before. I swear. I came out with only small injuries, nothing terrible.
Small injuries aren't too bad. Look how small he is.
Small injuries might. What is the phrase I'm looking for? Maim our small companion. Also, I don't believe that they're going to believe a frog at the top for a mammut.
Can make a very good impersonation, believe it or not, with my flowery voice.
Sounds like a mammoth to me.
I make a very convincing drunk out of birch bark and cattails, and then I paint it with mud.
Okay, so we have two very. She looks at John. Very good plans.
Thank you, thank you. I think they are very good. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
However,
Clearly the
I
man's
don't
an idiot.
think our costume. I don't think the costumes I have are quite big enough to fit three of us on top of each other.
This is true. What ideas might you have, friend Hibiscus?
Well, as she spreads her wings out and goes, I could fly over and go see if I see anything.
Oh. Reconnaissance. The best kind. I do like it. Yes. It will give me time to perfect my mammoth call.
Can we get a preview of Jean's Mammut call?
Please.
Hello there. I am a monster hunter from the mountains. Yes.
Dougal, what's the verdict?
That sounds like a mammoth.
Yep.
A small
I reckon
mammoth.
it'll
But
be
it sounds
there.
like a mammoth.
I once was.
Question. Has Dougal ever actually met a Mammut?
No. Not at all.
I once played a mammoth in a play, and I won an award for it, even though the mammoth community did not like it.
Oh.
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 But you did get an award. The award's pretty big. Nice.
Yes, I was run out of town.
Dougal.
I bet
That
you
doesn't
were.
sound like a reward.
I mean, she looks over at Dougal. Dougal, do you have any ideas, plans, thoughts?
Fish.
Just fish on loop.
Yeah, it's just a fish swimming in a circle over and over in his brain.
You could sometimes see it go past his eyeballs.
If you look hard
you,
enough.
you, you said they eat. I guess I could catch some fish and just see if they want to buy any.
That's not a bad plan. And maybe if we catch one big enough, we
We
can
could put the frog in
we
it.
could put the frog in.
In the fish.
But if we don't, that's okay too.
It is
So
acceptable.
it sounds like we're doing the world's biggest tabletop taboo, and we're splitting the party.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going fishing.
So while
Flying
y'all
and
fish,
Fishing.
I can go look and see if these rumors are true.
I'm assuming Lefrogge is also a master angler,
Why,
if you
yes.
ask him.
Yes, I do not need a pole, for I have my tongue. It's very long, very sticky. I just shoot it in the water, and then I grab a fish, and I eat it.
You've never been fishing, have you?
Perfect.
Just a
Never a
horrifying
day in his
image.
life. Never
No.
a day in his life.
Nope, I have never fished, ever.
I wouldn't use your tongue. Some fish have teeth.
See, I was gonna have him use his tongue and hope that he rolled really, really low.
Oh, Jean's still gonna try. He's still 1,000%
perfect.
gonna try. Because the man's an idiot.
I love him so much.
Look, I aspire to have the confidence of Lefrogge.
For real.
Right. I wish that I had the confidence of Lefrogge. Okay.
It is 1,000% misguided.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's there. It's there. Step one is there. That's the hard part, is getting it.
He wrote a self-help book on how to be confident.
You wrote a self-help book.
Right. All right. So I'm going to need. Let's go ahead and we'll do because there's less chance of things going wrong. Let's do Lefrogge and Dougal first. So there is a tributary to the creek, to the river, not that far from where you guys are. Dougal, you know these rivers like the back of your hand. You have fished most of the banks within probably a 2 or 3 days walk of the village. There is a not bad fishing spot, especially this time of year for bass, some of which can get fairly large. Uh, there is no issue for you taking your little froggy friend um, and finding a good spot where you have gotten good bites before in the past. I am going to need brawn tracks for both Lefrogge and Dougal.
That would be a 6.
And we add our brawn to it, correct?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what did you roll on the die for Lefrogge?
5.
Okay.
No, I have a +1 to my brawn, so
8
plus
plus
1 to
6.
everything.
You know, 8 plus 6 is a really good roll, brother. just saying on that one. 8 plus 6 is a really
8
good
plus
roll.
6. Yeah.
14. That's no.
Oh.
So Lefrogge, you see the shadow of a fish. You shoot your tongue out. You miss. It happens.
You're spooking them.
And after saying you're spooking them, you see Dougal, just a smooth, more elegance than you've seen most swordsmen with their blade, flicks his wrist and sending the tip of his pole back almost to where it touched his opposite shoulder, whipping it out and sending a lured hook right into the river. And with a jerk, he pulls out this almost 3 foot long bass, and it flops right in front of you guys.
Jean is immediately smitten by Dougal.
I think you can fit in this one.
Ow.
He thinks he could fit in that one too.
I could fit in many things.
That'll come in handy.
Like, John is like struggling, so he's like, well, I question, what can you fit in, big man?
Most things I can't fit in. They're just a little too small.
John is just like hyperventilating. He's like, oh, very well. Whew. It is a hot here in this beach place. I will walk away a little bit to calm down. And he just like down the beach, like maybe 20 feet. Just like,
So,
watch out for gators.
right. I have a question for Lefrogge. Does Lefrogge want a chance to impress Dougal?
I think in this moment, no, because he is more hyperventilating about the fact
Fair
that
enough.
he wants this
Because there's another
man to do terrible things to him. But
right, just because there's another giant shadow of a fish that if he was paying enough attention, he would see swim by.
No attention at all.
Perfect. So there is no outside world. There's just a giant fluffy man.
Yes.
What outside world?
There is no world. There is only him now.
the big catch.
That's right, the big catch. Meanwhile, outside of this little corner of gay panic, Uh, the up in the air. I need a lore check from our winged feathered friend.
7.
7. Cool. You are able to fly around the. Excuse me. You're able to fly around. You don't see much of anything um, around where the rumors told you that it should be, for where this camp should be forming.
Hmm.
What I need you to do is, where is my D12? There's my D12. Let's see if you get seen.
No.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So I again, so seriously, is hibiscus a magpie,
Um, I
or
honestly
have you thought
didn't.
about what
I
kind of?
really, when I was making her, I didn't picture her as a magpie. Um, I pictured her
What kind of
more.
bird is?
Um, so I'm trying to go. I'm trying to flip through the types of birds because I imagined her more of a red. Um,
Okay,
more like a cardinal red.
okay. So like a cardinal or a fletchling kind of. Got it. Cool.
Hmm.
So kind of so busy watching the ground and not thinking there could be someone else in the skies. Um, what are you trying to find, little bird? As a much, much larger, um, because yes, you were seeing a variant. Uh, this one much more hawkish,
Oh, we love this.
right?
We love it. she kind of she kind of makes a little jump in Twitter as a startle response. As she clears her throat, she goes, "Well, I was just on a beautiful night fly, not really looking for anything."
So, by the way, you look, and this is definitely a bandit. This dude looks
We love it.
like there's a scar underneath one of his eyes. His clothes are, his clothes are a mishmash of different kind of armors and gear that you can tell were kind of like someone stitched them together to work. Um, and do me a favor and let's see how good you're lying with an empath roll, please.
Not 8.
Oh, that works because he 5. So yes, he believes you 100% on that one. I'd recommend maybe heading home for the night.
I'll push my luck a little bit. Um, oh, well, it's always been safe out this way before. Has something changed?
New management in the area. I'd recommend going home before someone sees me seeing you and makes me take you with me.
Okay, I appreciate the warning.
And he banks away. And you can see the direction he banks to if you're dumb enough to try and follow
I don't want to follow. I just want to see and report.
him. Okay.
If
So,
there was more than a one shot, I would definitely follow, but
right. How much are you looking at? How how hard are you watching him?
uh hard enough. I wouldn't say it's a hard stare. It's definitely kind of a glance away, like I'm, oh, look at that over there. Okay. Oh, look at that over there. Okay. You know,
I would say so. This sounds like, and this is my question to Cam. Would you say to roll a lore check to see how well she is observing, or would there be a better roll to do there?
Probably lore.
Okay,
Yep.
go ahead and do a lore check for me.
5.
5. Okay, so um, you're able to see him go, and then in one of your look backs and look away and look backs, he's gone. You don't know if he landed, if he banked behind something, gone.
Perfect.
But you know the general direction in which he was going.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna go back.
You come down and you see Lefrogge bent over off to the side in the middle of just gay panic. And Dougal has a fantastically gigantic fish that he has since probably cleaned, gutted, and got ready for everything.
Look how lucky everybody is. You guys got a
Someone's trying to be lucky.
fish that Lefrogge can fit into. I didn't get kidnapped. I think this plan is coming together very well.
I'm
And
glad you
she's.
didn't get kidnapped today.
I am also glad I didn't get kidnapped today.
That is very good. Wait, you said in order for there to be a kidnapping, there has to be people there. You don't just kidnap yourself. That's just called running away. So, like, did you meet a person? Is the scary person, the big person, small person, medium-sized person, fur person, feather
Well,
person?
Dougal is just doing hand signs behind him. Like big person, little person.
Feathery person, furry person.
so
Feathery
she left her stuff behind because it would be easier to escape without her bag of stuff. But she's gonna go get the map that she has and unroll it. And as she's unrolling it, well, I saw a very nice bird person who was definitely a bandit.
Feather person. Yes.
And surprisingly let me go.
That was nice of him.
It was
This
very
is
nice.
suspicious.
At least one of you has a brain. As Jean says, that's suspicious.
And when he like taps his fingers against his chin, they stick a little bit. So it's like, um. So he's just like, this is, um.
So in the middle of one of those popping pullbacks, right after Jean said that sounds suspicious, you guys hear from behind you. This is the same voice that,
I love this.
right. At least one of you has a brain, and there is a correct. And again, there is standing there a very larger avian hawkman, just his wings folded back down. He has his own sword drawn.
When Jean whips around, like he acts like an idiot, but like his fencing pose is perfect.
On point. Nice.
Just
Okay.
like he like goes into like full like, you sir, you have no honor to sneak up upon us. This is not cool.
Cool.
I'm a bandit. I don't have honor.
Oh, well, I guess it was cool.
It is not. Dougal is not good at the bandits. You will
Dougal?
die.
He kind of snuck up. It was pretty cool.
That is not cool. You must go through life with honor, and sneaking up is not honorable. It is deceitful.
I
I'm
so
gonna sneak up on him.
Hibiscus very quickly lets the map roll back up. Well, hello. Um, fancy seeing you here on the ground.
Uh-huh.
I was just letting my friends here know that we should not go in that direction, like you told us.
He looks at the little froggy man, who is still,
I will get you by your ankles.
you know,
Dougal's
I've
attempting to
been.
hide.
So go ahead and roll me a.
I'm gonna sneak up on him.
Because it's cool.
Bonk.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. Um, what is the sneak roll? Because again, looks like it's just the brawn, and so it'd be brawn, empath.
It's really up to pretty much how you want to interpret it. Is kind of the
Okay.
way of it. It's like if it's more of like a physical thing, then like brawn. If it's more of like kind of like a kind of interpersonal thing, it's empath. It's up to you how you want to interpret it.
So I would think for with everything kind of going on, you're kind of like just like waiting for the moment where his focus isn't on you enough where you kind of slip away. I'm gonna say empath
Okay.
because it's you are
Oh,
hiding
yeah.
a physical thing, but you are
I got a question first.
sure.
Is there any shadows nearby?
So yes, this is a forested area. There is it is also night. There is darkness. If you can get to that point, yes, you can do your invisible
Okay.
in darkness thing.
Yeah, I turn invisible in shadows.
I
Right.
will be right back.
Yeah.
I'm running to the loo real quick.
Okay. Empath, right?
Yes.
10 plus 2.
Hey. Yeah, you are able to sneak over and you're in. You are able to kind of the hawk is so kind of focused on the tiny frog with the sword that it's not that hard for you to sneak in over there.
I forgot I could turn invisible.
Wait for our tiny frog with sword.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep, that's what I'm waiting. I was looking down. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I can turn invisible if I stand in the shadow.
I love
Wait
that.
a
I love that.
It's called a might wee big.
That's a might be big. Yes, Bubberg is entirely back in the shadows and was able to sneak away due to the fantastic distraction of Lefrogge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was all planned.
Uh, but again, um, I need an empath roll from Squidsy for the lie of we're not doing anything.
7.
All right, so and that puts you at the. Where are you? There we go. So yeah, nothing really. So yeah, it's not enough for him to go, "You're outright liars," but he obviously isn't believing you. The situation hasn't really changed.
Perfect. Beautiful.
I think we should go see my boss. He says he looks over and then realizes that Dougal is gone, and he looks he does the scan of the three of you, looks back over at Lefrogge, and then his head just snaps over to where Dougal was a moment ago. Where did he go?
He was gonna try to sneak behind him, and then he was gonna jump out and go, "Surprise!"
Roll me a body.
A body?
Roll me a body.
Because it's
Okay.
cool.
Or fun. Right.
Roll a body. So 9 plus 6.
Where are you getting your plus sixes from, by the way?
I put my points of 3, and because it was 1, 2, and 3, you put one in. One was in my empath, which my empath is very low.
Yeah.
Okay.
My 2 was in.
So the pluses get added directly in. So they
Yeah.
get added directly to the number. And then the modifier you get is just based on what the number is, the final.
Right. So you should be looking. So if your final number is 12 to 10, it's a plus 2.
Okay. So.
Yep.
So Braun was the one that I put 3 in. So it would be just
Okay.
plus 3 then. Okay.
Well, no. So the pluses.
What is
so
your
when you-
score? What is?
So,
Go ahead.
when you
I'm sorry.
start, each of your base scores is a 4. Then
Mhm.
you get the plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 to start. You get to put those in wherever you want. They get added directly in. Then the career bonus, those also get added directly in. And the final score you have, none of them should be higher than a 10. That's the way we built it. The highest score you can have starting off possible is a 10. The lowest you can have starting off is a 6. So then if you have a score that's between a 10 or 12 and a 10, you get a plus 2. If you have
Okay.
one that's between a
I get
9
you.
and a
Okay.
7, you have a plus 1.
Okay. So I have a -1 to that one. I have a -2 to that one, and I have a +0 for that one. Okay. If I'm looking
You
at
should, okay,
that.
hold on. You should
We
not have minus anything starting out. You should, the lowest you should have. What are your total numbers for
It
your?
was 6, 2, and 4.
You have a base of 4, and then you add to it. So
Yeah.
You add
Yeah.
those. You add 4 to all of those,
Okay.
which will give you your actual
Yep.
scores. Okay. Cool. So your lowest should be a 6. Your top should be a 10.
Okay.
So that's what's possible with it. Okay. I didn't catch the plus 6 earlier. I caught it that time. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Anyways, so you have a plus 2.
Okay. +2.
All right. So, which means you had a
9. So it was a 10, 11.
cool. All right. And so, very similarly, you jump out going surprise. So yeah, I think you pull it off with the 11. I think that you missed something though with doing this. Y'all were under the assumption that he was alone. And right behind Dougal, an even bigger bug grub goes surprise right into Dougal's ear.
That was pretty cool.
Shit.
This is very complicated now because there are 2 very big hairy men.
Did y'all see that? He got right behind me.
Oh, yes, he was right behind you.
Hibiscus.
This does not change anything. We are still 3 against 2.
We are not 3 against anybody.
You're by yourself, runs away.
I feel like I'm in a
We are
sandwich.
not three against anyone. And she kind of motions to her companions and is still looking at the Avarian and goes, "Look, we aren't a threat, as you can see."
No, you're not. You're really
Excuse
not.
me? The threats? I am a very good swordsman. I have one many. I meant he's just like so high pitched. He's just like squeaking, and no one can like a peeper or something. Not doing himself any help to look intimidating at all.
Right.
Really,
But
we were just out for a stroll. I was just letting my companions here know, hey, we shouldn't go that way. We're just. The nighttime is so pretty with all the fireflies of the stars and the night fishing. And she kind of motions to Dougal.
Oh yeah, I caught a big fish. Would you like some fish? And Hibiscus is.
the bug growing behind Dougal, like, I could go for a fish. I could go for a fish. What kind of fish you have?
Big bass.
Oh, it's a big bass. And they just start walking over. They're looking at it. It's a big bass.
It is
And
very large.
The Hawkavarian just brings his wing to his eyes and just rubs to the point of where his beak meets his face and sighs.
I think we could be very good acquaintances. You guys can have the fish that we've caught, and nothing else needs to happen.
He looks down at the frog and over at you. You can see the gears processing of, is it worth it to just dispatch the frog and take you back to whatever is going on? I'm imagining, kind of like Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts, just the stuff is still going on. So, how dare you not view me as a threat?
Yes.
She's just looking at this like flailing sword tip waving in the air. It's like, is this worth it? Is this really worth? Is this how I want to spend my evening?
The small French frog.
Right.
So one of the things that Avarians can do is they can speak to each other in a unique code.
Yeah.
So she's gonna kind of look at Jean and look back at this hawk-like Avarian, and in this unique code, why don't we talk bird to bird for a second?
Yes.
Look,
Is
it's
he
unfortunate.
okay?
It's no, he's not, and it's a very unfortunate circumstance. We're just trying to give him a really good night. It might possibly be his last one.
Dang.
Y'all you're going with the Make a Wish gambit. I see. Okay.
Oh my god.
His temper really has given him kind of a heart condition. High blood pressure and all that.
I can tell. I can tell. Look, Volo is going to take the fish and be happy. I'll just say you were a couple of stupid people from a city who. I'm going to need something to take back with me of value, though, in order for me to make this work.
So she is going to dig in her bag, and she's going to pull out 3 coppers, pluck a couple of feathers, and hand it to him and go, look, you took me down in the sky. This is all I had on me. This is all that's left.
Roll an empath for me.
Oh, please don't let me down.
Ooh.
Is there more money in the bag?
Yes.
So it almost worked until you moved the bag just a little bit, and just the sound of all of the coins clinging together kind of draw both his and Volo the bugbear's attention.
I have 4 copper. I took out 3.
It hit something that made it sound like there was more
Yeah.
coins than that in there. And Dougal, the man very quick, the bug broke with you very really quick from admiring your fish to his focus was dead set um, on Hibiscus and the bag in her hand.
She's gonna kind of hard
And
swallow.
there's a palpable change in the air. Jean Lefrogge knows danger when danger is present. The
Yes.
situation just got dangerous.
I thrive in danger. Um. Hmm. Oh, what am I gonna do?
So while you're doing that, while you're contemplating that, the hawk the hawk brings his sword back up again, and just his sword is now pointed at Hibiscus's throat as he just holds his hand open for the bag.
She does. She hands him the bag and goes, "Look, just be nice to my instruments, please."
I have what
Be
I
the
want.
hero, Lefrogge. Be the hero, Lefrogge. Be the
So,
hero, Lefrogge.
because of my lineage ability, sticky feet,
Ooh.
I'm going to kind of jump up so my feet stick to his sword blade, and I'm going to stab him.
Do it.
So
Do it.
I'm going to roll a brawn, and if
Yeah.
any brawn checks he makes to try and pull me off his sword have a -2.
Oh, that's
Do it.
good. I love that.
That is an 11 to beat his grit.
Let me roll for grit for him real quick. That is fantastic. Let's go ahead and no. So yeah, you
Alright.
stab him.
So he takes 1 damage.
Yeah.
And there's now just a little foot tall musketeer man stuck to his sword blade upside down.
So yeah, I think that what you did is he has the scar going down his eye. You cut him across the scar.
Oh. So as I jump in, I do the little like flourish. I'm like, aha! You think
Yeah.
I'm not dangerous. But what will you do now? I'm stuck on your sword. And I
He
would make a shaking his
starts shaking his sword.
Please, I have been with women and men who have shaken me more than you. This is pathetic.
Anyways, so okay, that's an 11 on the die, -2 for 9.
So I'll let's see if I beat a 9. Oh boy. 11, baby.
Yeah. So I'm imagining like he's shaking you, and he stops and pulls you, and he stops, and you shuffle a little, but you're still on it. And
I'm going to make your life miserable. So miserable.
It's just looking at this insane frog stuck on his sword. He looks between that and the bag of goods in his hand, and you can see him contemplating. I'm gonna drop one of these.
Is it
I don't
really
know.
worth it? Is it truly worth? I will be with you forever. You will hear me in your thoughts, in your dreams. I will never leave you alone. You'll keep this sword. The part of me will always be with you. It's truly worth it.
And with that, he drops the sword. No, goes nope. Um, and he takes a couple steps back, trying to kick off to get the lift to get himself back into the air. Uh, yeah, Lefrogge drops, still attached to the sword.
I'll unsticky my feet and be like, I mean, really, this sword is a piece of crap. Where did you get this? This is like terrible work. What? I just take and I throw it in the river.
Yeet!
Slice of fish while you're at it.
Right, cuts into the fish. So seeing this kind of happen, Dougal,
Yes.
you now have a no longer appreciative of your fish, Lefrogge, who is, you're both massive. He's just a little bit more massive than you. He, however, can't apparently throw a punch for shit with a 3. So he goes to throw a punch and it doesn't connect.
He's too distracted by my words.
That's the word for it.
All right. I guess I'm gonna hit him with the fish because that's what I have in my hands at the moment.
I'm imagining, if y'all remember Ed, Edd and Eddy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned fish smacking.
Yeah, it's good old-fashioned fish smacking.
Go ahead and roll the hit. Roll your
8.
All right.
That's the correct way now.
Correct.
Yep.
All right. That is at 10 on the die.
Okay.
So, if I'm reading this correctly, there's no damage, correct?
Yeah, if it's a tie, there's nothing happens.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah. Yeah. He is distracted by the fact that you just, I think you make contact with the fish, but it doesn't do anything. So, smack with the fish.
Yeah.
He's just standing there with the look like you just fucking smacked me with the fish. How dare you smack me with a fish?
You tried to hit me.
You smacked me with a fish!
You swung first.
You're gonna ruin the fish! You're gonna
That's
bruise
true.
the meat of the fish!
You're right. You make a good point there.
Why would you waste a good fish?
It was just I was in the heat of the moment.
Volo, stop playing with him and get out of there! You hear as the Hawkman goes.
Do I see him with
Is able to get himself.
Hibiscus's stuff?
Yes, with Hibiscus' bag. Yes.
Okay. What's he doing?
Stealing her shit.
Talking to the bub grug.
Stealing.
Well, that's not nice.
We're bandits.
You
We're
are
not
bandit
nice.
by choice. You could easily get a job. You
So are
could
we
work
gonna
somewhere.
convert these
Use this
bandits
economy?
into being nice people?
In this economy?
I
Facts.
sell fish. That's my normal job.
You could easily set up a small business. Do you know how easy it is in these mountain towns to establish like a lumber mill or like a small like chalk mine? You could easily be entrepreneurs, but no, you choose instead to steal.
Well, yeah, because that sounds like a lot of work. If I just take the things that other people have already put their money into, how does that make me different than the politicians?
I mean, you're gonna be really disappointed when you look in that bag and there's nothing important in there.
The need for revolution starts to fuel. Lefrogge is like, yes, I see your point, and I have caused many a revolution, which has made me an outlaw in several countries. But that is beside the point.
He's a dangerous man.
I'm very dangerous. Says the 1.5 foot tall frog.
You did send a Hawkman 6 times your size running away.
I did.
So
I think it was just because I annoyed him, though.
it was 100%. Look, no, but according to Lefrogge, it was the fear in his eyes.
Yes,
That's
the
how
fear in his
Lefrogge
eyes.
tells you. Right.
Yep. Not
I
fantasy.
look into your eyes and all I see is fear.
Nope, just annoyance.
Right.
So the hawk hasn't fully taken off yet, right?
He is in process. He's
Okay.
probably off the ground, but not fully in the sky.
Okay. Can I jump and stick to his leg?
Can we? I was gonna say, can we slingshot Lefrogge?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So, because the other option is, Dougal could always use his fishing pole to launch Lefrogge after him.
That's pretty good.
Well, I'll jump first and see if I can latch onto him first.
Let's see if you can make the jump first.
For
Okay.
sure.
That's a 5.
No. You jump and the tip of your sticky finger brushes his boot as he kicks off just enough to escape it.
But you gotta prepare the pole.
Excuse me, and I walk past the other bub grug.
Do you hand him the fish?
I hand him the fish and just kind of walk past him.
So yeah, he goes to say something and he realizes that he now has the fish in his hands, and he just kind of shrugs and starts lumbering back into the woods to make his way back to his camp because he has the fish now. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
3-foot long bass.
Jean is going to sheathe his little rapier. He's going to back up like a solid 15 feet and just I am ready. Throw me and do it like you mean it.
All right. We're gonna toss him.
All right. I need a body roll.
Need a body?
There will be a body after this if this goes wrong.
Oh man.
Don't miss.
10.
Hey.
Oh, perfect. Hey, So yeah, yet again, in the same kind of perfect casting motion, you hook a little bit of your line onto the back of Lefrogge. You whip your arm back, and in the same flick of the wrist, Lefrogge, you see the tip of the rod go over your head, and then you feel this pull as you are yoinked after it.
Perfect cast.
Lefrogge is significantly turned on. As he just goes sailing and just spins feet first just onto this guy.
So I think with that, at that point, it's not just on the leg. You are on his chest, feet first.
Wow, bonjour, mon ami! You cannot get rid of me so easily.
He looks down at you, and you just see this utter horror and contempt for Lefrogge in this hawk's eyes. How are you here?
Well, it is actually quite a good story. You see, my friend Dougal, he is a very good, very handsome man, by the way. Very good with his ball, and he threw me, and now I'm here, and I am going to stab you.
Dougal's just down there waving.
Go ahead and roll a body. Go roll your attack for me.
That's an 8.
All right. That is a 1.
Oh God.
So I think at this point you're probably about 20 feet up off the ground. You stab him through the chest. You hit his heart because he doesn't have that much health. you realize as you start plummeting back towards the ground,
I
and that
will.
you're on his
leap-
chest, facing the ground.
Nice. I will leap off onto a tree. It's boing.
All right, so yeah, you go for the jump. Roll me a body.
Oh. It's 10.
Hey, yeah, you're able to jump off. Um, do you try and grab Hibiscus's bag of goods,
Oh no.
or do you just let it fall?
Um,
I'll catch it.
I will try to grab it. Okay. I'm a full. Okay, here we go. Natural 12.
Oh yeah.
So you see it fall, and just in reflex, you open your mouth, right, and your tongue just snags it. And you're able to stop it from hitting the ground, but you feel like you might have dislocated your tongue a little bit.
This is very unfortunate. I was
But
planning
you
to
caught
do
it.
many things. I did catch it. Yes.
You did catch it, and
Did you catch that? You caught it with your tongue. Did
I
you
did.
say that with the thing still in your mouth?
I heard it I look at it.
so Hibiscus is
Little
so
slimy.
yeah so Hibiscus, you see him. Sorry, I thought I heard
Notes
something.
me.
So Hibiscus, you see him start flying away. You see Lefrogge go flying like a rocket through the air. You see you see him land on the hawk guy. The hawk guy fall, and Lefrogge, your bag starts to fall, and right before it hits the ground, Lefrogge's like 6 foot long sticky tongue snags it out of the air.
Is Lefrogge falling?
No, he's on the tree. He's
Okay.
stuck on a tree.
I'm currently parallel. I'm just like sticking off the tree. Like I'm just standing straight. My tongue just.
Tongue out the side of the mouth. No, your
I-
tongue out of the side of the mouth because it's hanging at this point.
Hello, I have the cover your bed.
She runs over and she's just this big chuckle is my hero. Thank you so much. How as she kind of goes to touch the bag and stops for a sec. How do I just take it?
This is your bed.
So she goes okay, and she grabs a hold of it and pulls it off.
And
Impressive.
my tongue will be a little bit sour, but it is okay.
I look. Thank you so much. She So is he got the bird person's gone? We still have the bub grub. Yes?
Who's gone in the woods somewhere?
So it's just us.
Yeah.
We will
there's
now find him. He seemed like a nice fellow, but we will find him and discuss the benefits of entrepreneurial workmanship and the tax credits he can earn by having a job. Listen, I may be a thief, but I pay my taxes.
Look, even Joker's afraid of the IRS.
Even Joker's afraid of the IRS.
Canonically, even Joker is afraid of the IRS.
Yep. They're like, "What? You paid all these taxes?" He's like, "I'm not screwing around with the IRS."
So, okay. So, now what? Do we want to go after him?
Yes.
So, she unrolls her map. She goes back to where her map is laying and unrolls it and kind of points. It goes, okay, so there wasn't anything around the lake like the rumor said, but I feel like the hawk banked the wrong way. But he did bank this way, and she kind of circles with her finger where she saw him kind of veer off. Not that it's correct, but just where she knows.
Right.
On the map, and if I'm looking at it, since I know the area, is there any way I could like think of anything that could be in that area?
Trees,
Trees. Okay.
trees,
I come back
very
with
very
Petunia.
large trees.
With
Okay.
what?
I come back with Petunia, my capybara,
Oh,
as you guys are talking about the map. I'm like, hello, I had to retrieve my Nobasti. And she's just like,
she's just absent mind, just kind of pet her on the head as she looks at the map.
oh, where are we going now?
Well, this is where he banked off to when I saw him in the air. I don't know if it's like if it's honest, but it's what I've got.
Then we will go that way.
I guess we're going that way.
We could ask him, but I have killed him. So it is hindsight 50-50, right? Now we go. Yes.
Did he say he killed him?
I think so.
Dangerous.
It seems so.
He's actually just playing dead to make Lefrogge feel good.
Oh wait, right. He only you really like, actually didn't do that. You barely broke through his armor. He was like, if I do this,
He'll leave me alone.
right?
I'm
So the excuse me. The feeling of being watched as you guys go through the woods. You're not quite sure if it's your paranoia, if it's your knowledge that there are bandits somewhere in these woods. But as you guys make it through, you feel like you're being watched the entire time.
I feel like as it's happening, Jean is just telling like he knows there's an audience, and so being the intelligent man is he's trying to like win these bandits over that he knows is watching by just telling outrageous stories of all his adventures, and just like hoping that it humanizes these guys a little bit towards our trio, or that they just get annoyed with him enough that they don't want to deal with him.
Dougal is fully
No.
invested in the story.
As it's sort of getting towards the end of this trek, it's like cuts in on like, and I would tell you when I took over the bank, it was investment was good. I tried investment banking for a little bit. It was lucrative, but very boring. I did not duels, no beautiful men or women. Mostly just like family people who are trying to like get their stocks up, and I did not know what their stock was, so I was just kind of there to move money around. Um, so it skimmed a little bit off the top, I think it wasn't too bad. Um,
I don't think
and,
you
that,
have hair.
and that's why you only do 10% on your investment schemes and not higher than 20, because then they will notice.
What if you as you hear from the woods? What if you diversify your movements and you had some of it back into a revenue stream into the bank?
So if you do that, it will work out very good. But you want to make sure that I'm like just yelling. You want to make sure that you split it up into like not just all in one trade sector. You want to put like some in tourism and some through like economic. Like you want to break it up. If it's all in one place, then they'll say like, oh, why are all these revenue streams into one location? So like it doesn't make any sense.
You hear like a criminal, oh, and like the scratching of like quills on parchment.
See, there you go. See, business, it works. But being a gentleman froge like myself is more fun.
Hibiscus, I've never had this much coppers. I'm not really using banks too much. What about you?
No. Whenever you travel, there really is no need to use a bank.
The as you guys kind of enter into the clearing, you see that there are some people who are there's a clearing that seems very recent. There's not undergrowth. There's not the built up of foliage of time. There's not even really like even sprouts of anything. There is just this wood trellised encampment hidden within the trees in the forest that you're only able to make out because of the every so often bright light of a fire.
How big would or can we get it? Well, no, probably can't. Um, could a hibiscus like fly up to an upper branch and like get a rough idea of how big this place is?
I could.
Probably,
I could try.
probably. I wouldn't even have you roll for it. Yeah, quite easily actually. Yeah, you're able to kind of make your way up into the trees and just kind of like fluttering from branch to branch. Um, you're able to see that it's not huge, but it is a little bigger. You see that it is probably about 100 feet by 120 feet.
Okay.
Like it's not big.
Am I able to spot maybe some people who don't look like they quite belong?
So yes, you are able to actually see into the encampment, and you can see in three holding pins in the back. There's probably a total of 6 or 7 Orcani,
Okay.
and you see that there is a very large mammoth sitting, right in a fire across from them, and he seems to be talking with one of the Orcani.
Okay. So I'm gonna get down, um, and let them know. Are we not gonna question the voice that asked about the investment banking out of the woods? By the way.
I don't think Jean has the wherewithal to think about that. He's just glad somebody was listening and talking to him about it.
It was just getting information. Woods or bankers?
Woods are bankers.
Trees are bankers.
Trees are bankers. So,
Is
um,
there a plant race?
what?
Hold on. I'm trying to remember if there was a plant race or not for
um,
lineages.
not yet.
Okay.
The Clorin are coming. There are plant people.
Well,
Let's,
now
All
you
let,
know that they're bankers.
right.
Tree,
The Clorin are now bankers. In this world, the
trees,
Clorin are bankers.
trees or bankers?
Trees are bankers. So, I mean, they stay in one place. It makes sense that they're the bankers.
They set their roots up and they just stay there.
Exactly. They need investment.
I keep talking like Dougal when I don't need to talk like Dougal.
you are Google now.
There is only Dougal.
Exactly. They need investment in the soil that they're in. Clearly, according to what Lefrogge was telling us. Um. So she's gonna make sure you do 10%, not 20. So
A history of banking and chlorophyll life by Jean Lefrogge.
Yes, that'll be his memoir.
she comes down and she, of course, relays this information where she saw the um the cages and the mammon talking with. I'm wondering if we can sneak in the back instead of just going through the front.
It is not honorable. I must live with honor.
What if we don't fight anybody?
Yeah, that will work.
Not trying to fight anybody. We just release the people we need to release and sneak them out.
That'll make Callum happy.
So as you guys you make your way. So that the plan now to sneak in, free them, and get out. Correct. Yes.
Try to cause like a distraction with the stampeding cows.
Again, they don't have cows right now.
Oh, that's right. They don't have the cows.
They were on their way to get the cows.
To get.
Correct.
What if? What if, Lefrogge? What if I like dive bombed you into the camp where they are, and then you can release them, and Dougal can create a distraction of maybe a fish merchant.
I'm just thinking, Tactical Froge inbound.
Lefrogge.
I do like this idea. I am very good at being dropped from high places and surviving. I will do this.
I saw him do it.
Yes, I was very good. It was very yes.
It was impressive.
3. Duck. Yes.
All right. So as you guys are making the plan, you guys do see that Volvo makes his way back in, and they open the gates as he walks in carrying this giant fish, and like 3 or 4 other bug rugs all saying, "Oh, it's a nice fish." There's just this collection of buggers complimenting the fish right inside the entrance to the camp.
Well, he might recognize you. That might be a problem.
We give Dougal one of your costumes.
We could do that.
Ugh.
And he will pretend to be a different fish merchant.
Dougal?
Yes, because there are so many bug rug
Fish-
multiple fish merchants in the area.
Pretty well known for bub grugs that they're fish merchants. They
It
just
is a
travel.
foolproof plan.
The confidence is just hibiscus. Like, yeah, it's foolproof. Yeah, you know, he's right. They're correct. It is foolproof.
Being told it's foolproof by 2 fools.
Right?
It will work. It will work. Now, Dougal, you must try a different voice. Like, try to mimic my voice.
Okay. Wee.
Say more than that one word. It is good for us to get the letters in the right row.
Get the letters.
Hey, okay.
It's not. We'll call it good. We'll go with that.
It's good enough for government work.
Yes. Well,
I'm imagining inside Lefrogge's mind, like it is perfect French coming out from this giant hunky bug rub.
yes. Yeah, he's just
The-
like,
the
romance.
filter. Yeah, there's a filter versus what hibiscus is hearing.
Yep. It will work. It will do the job well. But I will teach you more. Shit, a little time.
But I don't have
Came out
any
really
fish to
bad.
sell.
Never mind. We're going to move on. I am very embarrassed now. Biscuit, drop me in the camp. I don't want to be here no more.
What? We've got to give our new bub grub a costume.
Yes, got some time.
And she pulls out one of them, and it's a distant town outfit. I like to imagine the colors are probably like an ivory with some greens. Definitely not of the local area.
No, not in the local area at all.
And just dresses up Dougal in it as best she can.
With the waiters still on.
With the waiter's still on.
With the waiter's still on.
Correct, with the waiters still.
He's got to look like a fish salesman. Fish salesmen all have waiters.
Right.
Clearly, all fish salesmen have waiters.
Yes.
It's part of the uniform.
Exactly. Okay. Well, hang on. We might have. Okay, we might have run into another problem. We don't have fish.
I got fishing equipment.
Yes, but how are
Uh,
you a fish merchant with no fish?
What if he is coming looking to make a business investment with the bandits to help them set up a local fishery to fund their expansion into a legitimate uh, trade organization?
I mean, there's the lake nearby that may maybe work. Remember, it's 10%, not 20%.
Yes, 10%, not 20%. If we can spin it, it'll work. I'm pretty sure it'll work.
Maybe. What do you think? Not Dougal.
Not Dougal. Yeah. Oh, I need a. I need a name.
Pierre.
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 Pierre Perchman.
Pierre Tushman.
Perch like the fish. It'll work. It makes sense. The fisherman, he have fish in name.
And the uniform is from insert city name here. So that is where you could be from.
My favorite city to go to. Insert city name
I
here.
couldn't think of one on the top of my head.
Totally
Great,
fine.
great name.
I sell a lot of fish there. It's insert city name here.
You do. And so you are a traveler who is looking to help others also have a successful fishery for themselves.
Remember, 10%, not 20%.
10%, not 20%. That's like the only thing Hibiscus got was the 10%, not 20%.
Less 10%, not like 20%.
Yes, correct.
This'll work. It's gonna be great. It'll do great things.
Dougal starts walking to the front.
All right, Lefrogge.
He like wads himself up as tiny as possible.
She's gonna grab him with her little feet.
Okay.
Being as gentle as possible with her little feet.
I will make it. Tactical Lefrogge.
Special Legend Lefrogge.
You just hear.
So, the incoming mess. Let's start with Dougal.
All right. Dougal is going to
And
walk straight up.
Who goes there? You hear coming from the wall as as the gate is opened and Volo and like three other bug drugs come lumbering out.
It's Pierre Perchman from Insert City name here.
What's someone from Insert City name here doing all the way out here?
Heard y'all were looking for a business ventures, yeah. 10%, not 20%.
Well, it is financial reasoning. I can't fault the good financial reasoning on that.
The trees,
need to have him talk to the boss.
Let you speak talk a lot, yeah. Banking.
Go get the boss, Volo says to one of the other guys. It's like, yeah, 10%, not 20%. That's sound financial. You must be a businessman. Yes.
We're just hearing this as we're flying over.
Correct.
See, it's going perfectly, Hibiscus. It's working out perfectly.
It is, Lefrogge.
So, it is because you see, as you guys are coming in, two of the bug rugs go and grab the mammoth, who stands up and just starts lumbering back towards the gate,
Oh, he is very big.
All right.
and which now leaves no one kind of at the Where am I getting feedback from?
And the cages.
There we go. Yes. No. I was getting feedback from somewhere. Sorry.
Nope.
Yes. At the cages. Yeah. There's no one kind of at the cages as Lefrogge gets airdropped right kind of in front of him. Can I get a body check to see how Lefrogge handles the landing?
Oh boy. I'd say dirty 12.
Hey, Dirty 12 will be, you roll into it, you pop up,
Oh.
right,
Stroke the mustache.
and you hear from one of the cages, Gene?
Armando, how are you?
Correct. And you see Armando, who is like 2 or 3 years ago you had a tryst with Armando. You actually had a tryst with Armando's wife.
Oh boy. Listen, I know we ended things really awkward the last time, but I'm here to help you and get you guys out of this situation. So we will be cool after this, right?
If you get me out of here, I will ignore what happened in the past.
Cool. I would like it to be cool, but ignore will work. Okay. I'm going to find the lock. I imagine also Hibiscus can hear this whole thing.
She's
Oh,
she's like
100%.
landed nearby and is trying to make a little escape way out the back.
And I'm just telling her all the details of this sordid romance as I'm trying to unlock it. I see she was lonely. He was always gone on so I feel the role. And I'm not saying it was
You're
my
not
fault.
endearing me to you, Sean.
It's Jacques. It's Jean, not John. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna do a lore and see if I can undo this lock. It's an 8.
I think what happens is, what are you using to pick the lock?
I imagine in his time, as if he has a little set of lock picks,
Tool.
but he probably hasn't used them in a while because he usually just relies on his bubbling personality to open doors. So
Right.
he hasn't oiled them recently. He hasn't cleaned, so they're a little beat up, a little rusty. So it's not the most clean.
You're able to pop the first lock because there's 3 locks in total. But you also pop part of your pick off in the lock.
No. This is not good. Whee! Just flicks it away. All right.
Meanwhile,
yeah, well, just do another, and then we can cut over to.
right. So Dougal, you are still somehow holding on to this farce of being an intelligent business bug grug. When this truly massive individual comes out of the front gate. You know how
he's a big one.
Yeah, you know how people think they're tall and then they see stand next to Shaq.
Yeah.
You're used to being Shaq in the equation. Now you get to feel like it's like being the other guy.
This must be how. This must be how John feels.
All the time.
My whole life.
And you just hear, I hear you have a business arrangement to talk about.
Well, yes, I sell fish 10%, not 20%.
Roll me a lore check. -2.
Sound good, yeah?
Did I embezzle from this dude?
I embezzled from this dude.
Oh no!
We're about to
So,
find out.
let me
Oh,
get my
no!
calculator out real fast. We'll do let's see, it's 2 plus 1 minus 2. That's
Oh
1.
no.
Stop. Oh my
Oh no.
god.
Sean, you've pulled a scam on this dude before. Not only that, the phrase 10%, not 20%, causes his eyes to narrow at Dougal as he turns and looks back into camp.
Oh no! Oh no!
Lefrogge!
I hear that. I'm like, oh, I just pick up a rock and just start wailing on the logs with a rock.
Roll me a brawn. Roll me a brawn check real quick.
Just
I'm leaning around this mammoth going, I don't think it's working.
It's a dirty 12.
You break it. You break it. One
And
more
it's
lock
ripped.
to get through.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
one more lock.
Shit. I'm just gonna pound at it again with the rock.
You and it kind of like flushed away. Like it's that moment of victory. Yes. And then you look and you see that there's the last lock.
Shit. That's an 8.
You smash okay. You open the lock, but you smash your thumb with on accident. Also in the process,
Well,
you might not be able to. Yeah, you might not be able to hold your sword properly for a little bit.
Not with that hand.
Right. Joke's on you. I'm not left-handed.
I'm not even. And I'll just rip the door open, like
Right.
okay, like rip, but it's really like.
Yeah. So in the as you're starting to pull, you feel the ground shake as this mammoth just starts lumbering towards you, and you hear arcane mutterings coming from its mouth, from its trunk.
Oh no. Nah,
Can I see him running off towards them?
Cornelius. Hey, listen.
Nope. Cornelius was my brother.
Fluffy, what did you ask?
Oh. So he's running off that way, and I see him running towards Jean.
You see him lumbering towards Jean now.
Okay.
Cornelius, okay.
Charles.
I see the family resemblance. You two are both very handsome, very great-looking guys. Listen, I can tell you, it wasn't my fault what happened to your brother. All right, it was part of. I was locked into a very bad business deal. I was trying to fend for myself. I was going to pay him back.
His tusk.
I didn't. I'm very small.
You left him high and dry, and because of that, they took his tusks. Do you know how you take a mammoth's tusks, Jean? He says as he's walking towards you.
No, but I have a feeling you're going to tell me in very graphic detail, and I'm going to feel very bad, and then I'm going to feel very dead.
How about we just skip to the feeling very dead? He says as he goes and holds out his hand, just this glowing arcane mass of light in it.
Can I see if I'm quick enough to go grab Jean and get out?
Sure.
He's just like bracing for impact. He's like
bracing for little tiny talons.
Right.
So I would actually like to help with that also.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to use my fishing rod and try to hook his hand as he's trying to get him.
Roll me a brawn. Roll me a brawn check for that real quick.
That's the only thing I got good. 9 plus 2.
11. Yeah, you're able to. Yet again, it's almost like a canned animation. It's that perfect reel back and launch. And yeah, you're able to snag his arm and pull the shot to the side. Give me a brawn check for Hibiscus.
10. No, just 9.
9. You're able to grab him. You jostle him a bit, and you might have accidentally dislocated his shoulder, but you
No.
have him. But you have. It's better than being turned into a smear on the ground. It's just a little dislocation. It'll be fine. Um, in the chaos, the Orcani are able to slip out,
Good.
and you guys are able to kind of slip away. And as you're slipping away, you see a full armed regiment of the guard moving towards.
Well,
And you should hear from the Mahmoud on the ground, Lefrogge!
So funny story that. Um, I just start to regale Hibiscus with this very long, sordid tale, which does nothing to put Jean in a good light, but he thinks it puts him in a good light, but it doesn't.
she's gonna look at Jean and go, "It's okay. I think this story will make an even better one of brave Jean Lefrogge, who dropped into a bandit camp from the sky."
Yes. And he's just like holding his arm, like,
And by the way, the thumb and the dislocated shoulder, same side.
oh,
That entire arm is just going to be useless for about a couple months.
oh no. Let's be like, yeah.
So yeah, you guys are able to make it back into the village. There's a very touching reunion between young Callum and his family. And
Did I get arrested?
no, you were able to sneak the fuck out. You were able to get out of there okay. You guys all land and meet up. The Orcani kind of realize you're not one of them, and the Orcani help get you out.
All right.
Beautiful.
And yeah, you guys make your way up and back to the village. There's a very touching reunion. And from this village, what are the plans for our stalwart heroes going forward? Let's start with an easy one. Dougal. What are Dougal's plans for the future?
Well, he's gonna meet up with them, say hi to them. And then Dougal's gonna realize he didn't catch any fish, and he still got to pay rent.
Because capitalism was the villain the entire time.
Capitalism was the villain the entire time. But he is happy that Callum has got his family back, and he sees Jean with his broken arm.
Yeah, that's karma.
Well, what are you going to do, Jean?
Well, I believe Petunia and I will head south again. This little excursion has taught me that it is time to right some wrongs I have caused. But and he sort of like,
Arnaldo comes up and offers John his hand. Thank you for your help.
you're welcome.
It would have been nice if he shook the other hand.
No. He's offering for the good hand. And there's a crushing grip as he leans down and pulls Jean up just a little bit. If you ever lay if you put your webbed fingers anywhere near my wife again, I'm breaking your other arm.
Yep.
And he just lets him go. He just lets you go. Yep.
I am going to go fix some things. And he like tries to take like Dougal's hand with his like broken hand and his kind of broken hand, but however, I will come back to visit in the future. And he just kind of like does like a little circle on the back of Dougal's hand, and he goes, so keep it cool, fisherman.
Try not to get too injured.
Yeah, well, and he we'll see, and he just sort of like sits back and is like, "Oh, I am hurt."
Beautiful.
Where are Hibiscus's adventures going to take her next?
Um, so being a just a traveling troubadour, she is gonna look at Jean and go, "Well, looks like I'm also heading south for the winter. Could you also maybe use some company?"
Company would be very nice. It does get very lonely. Petunia is not much of a conversationalist. She just kind of glares at me the whole time.
It's an angry rat.
She's a capybara, not a rat. Our big difference.
So yeah,
So yeah, I think that is going to bring us a close to this little one shot.
this is such a fun system.
It is. It is such a fun system. What I love is it takes so little to prep for the GM side of it.
Yeah, that was the goal, to make it quick, easy. Not too complicated. Something you could play in an afternoon and not have to worry too much about. So, um, but thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna
Thank you
post
so much for
where.
having us doing it.
Yeah, I'm posting your website
Yeah,
again
this
in
is great.
chat.
I had fun.
This was
John and Dougal are my OTP for the day.
oh my gosh. This was such a fun system. You can find Cam and all of their work over at daylightpublications.com. I just posted the link in chat. Apparently, there's a lot coming out for the Daylight system. You were talking about a noir, a gothic horror one. There's a sci-fi one.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
This-
we got a lot of stuff, other settings in development right now. We're gonna kind of start lining stuff up for 2024. But some settings keep in mind. We have a what do we got? We got a cosmic fantasy take on Norse mythology with some science fiction cyberpunk mixed in. We got a Magipocalypse Sapphic Night Order setting coming up. Um,
Explosions.
and a couple others I'll keep quiet for now. But we got lots of stuff coming.
Beautiful. Um, just to kind of sign everybody out, Cam, where can they find you on socials?
Pretty much at Daylight Pub 1066. That's pretty much what I'm at everywhere. Um, Mostly still on Twitter for now, until the comes crashing burning down. And then we'll go from there. But for now, Daylight Pub 1066 on everything, and we're always looking for artists or writers. You don't have to be a someone who's super experienced in the TTRPG sphere. Just someone who's open to learning and understanding what goes into it. If you want to take it from being a hobby to a little bit more. So we're always open to folks to come and ask about stuff.
Beautiful. Fluffy, where can they find you?
Whatever y'all put me at.
Thanks.
Yep. But I am on Twitter at the moment as the Red-Eyed God 1. Always confusing, but that is where I am, and I'm working on any projects that involve art with Trauma Bond Studios. I do enjoy that.
And we enjoy having you. And what about you, Grimm?
You can find me over at TBS_Grimm on Twitter. And if you are looking for any sort of professional gaming, feel free to hit me up there.
And as always, you can find me here on Twitch as Corrosive Squid. You could also find me at Corrosive Squid over on Twitter, as well as at Lost Guide Games on Twitter and Dice Camp. But this was so much fun. Cam, thank you so much for, one, introducing us to this game, and two, coming along for a ride to play it with us.
Well, thank you for letting me. I appreciate it.
And we will see you all guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.